Hi friends, so today what we're going to do is we are going to draw a flower. So let's see the supplies that we need. We need half a sheet of paper, which we'll turn into a square paper. We need watercolors, we need crayons, and because it is watercolor, we'll be also using some water. And here I have a whiteboard to practice draw. You can use a scrap paper. Okay, so what we are going to do first is I'm going to put my hand like this, and I'm going to put a line like that here, and this much I'm going to cut off. Okay, we need a square paper for this, so I'm going to fold it where this is. It doesn't have to be an exact square, but we want a somewhat squarish paper. Okay, so we have a square paper or almost square paper. I'm going to put this away for now. Let's practice drawing the flower on the whiteboard. So I'm going to draw a square over here because the whiteboard is not square. So this is, suppose this is the paper. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll start with a circle. It can be in the middle, you can put it a little bit to the side, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I have a circle or an oval shape in the middle. What I'm going to do next is I'm like going to, it's like a plus, but I'll erase the the line that runs through the middle of this flower. In between these I'm going to put another lines. Okay, now what we're going to do is, this is not the middle, yeah, we're going to turn this into a petal. Okay, so I'm going to draw a flower. It is extending out. I'm going from here to here, making a rainbow or a U. Okay, so see that some of the petals extended out. So if it is on a paper, you won't be able to do that. So like that. So you have the flower. So what we'll do is I'm going to take the paper and I'm going to put this on top of scrap paper, or maybe a bigger scrap paper. Okay, so any scrap paper, any paper that you don't want. Okay, so this will help you to make the flower. Even if it goes outside, it doesn't matter, but you will be able to, why this will help you to draw big. Okay, otherwise the petals may not look that realistic. So I'm going to start with the oval shape or circle, and then I'm going to, maybe you can draw this lightly and then erase off the plus. Okay, in between these lines I'm going to draw another line. Okay, now as I said, we are going to make the petals. You can draw out, you can go outside, it is okay. So the flower is done. Once I remove it, some part of the flower got cut off. The rest is still inside. So that is all that we are looking for, right? Now I'm going to erase of this the line that runs through the middle. You can take your black crayon and then now outline this line. I'm going to take my permanent marker. We are using a watercolor. So if you use the normal markers, it's not going to work. So this being permanent marker, it'll be fine. But if you don't have a permanent marker, use a black crayon to do what I'm doing right now. I'm outlining this, going okay. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to make lines like that. Like a race around the sun. Okay. If you want, you can make small dots like that. Okay. So because it is with the pencil and with permanent marker, I can erase. You guys are not going to erase, okay? Because if you use permanent marker, you can erase. If it is crayon, please don't do this. It's going to smudge, okay? Next, what we're going to do is we are going to take the watercolor. Watercolor, where are you? So I'm going to take the colors. Maybe I'm going to start from the middle. The middle part, I'm going to put, okay, maybe I'll put some more stuff in the middle. I'm going to put some dots, black dots. So you guys, those using a crayon, you'll have to make little dots like that. Okay. So I have the dots. Now I'm going to put some water in yellow. I'm going to use yellow and red for my flower, okay? So I'm going to swirl my brush in yellow to get a nice dark yellow, okay? So swirl, swirl, swirl. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to color the inside part of the flower. So I'm making my brush stand on the tippy toes. I'm making a fence and then coloring inside. When your brush, because we need a really dark color, I'm not mixing it with water, okay? I'm just taking the color from here and we need only a little bit, so we have enough paint in there. I'm going to wash my brush really well before I switch the color. It's like sweeping the floor of the container. Now my brush is clean. I'm going to put a few drops in red. I'm going to swirl in red to get a nice dark red. So if you want to make a purple flower, you can go ahead and make a purple flower. If you want a blue flower, that is also fine. If you want an orange flower, that is fine. I'm going to make a red flower. Okay, I'm going to now go along the lines and then this red is light red, so it is like a pinkish. It's okay. So make a fence and then fill in. as I have told you before, don't paint the same spot again and again to get a dark color. What you can do to make it dark is either add less water to the paint and then make a dark color, or you can wait for this to dry first and then you can add another layer to that. Okay, if there is like color, can you see how the color is like there are color pooling in some places? I'm just spreading that. I'm not adding more, I'm just spreading out the color in that area. I'm not adding more paint or anything there or more water to that area. If you do that, it is going to rip your paper because it's watercolor. So when your brush is dry, you need to add water or paint to it. Okay, so when I was done with the paint here, I added a few more drops of water and swirled in the paint to make the paint in such a way that I can use it to paint. So see, this is dry, so I'm adding a drop of water, swirl, 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 swirl a few times, and then what I'm going to do now is I want to make it a little bit more. Let's try this. I'm just putting a little in purple. I'm going to just this part. Only the tips. Actually, if the water is too wet here, you can wait for this to dry a bit before you do. So keep working that way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this to dry a little bit before I start, because there is a lot of water. I don't want the paint to spread, get into the spot when I'm painting. Okay, so I will wait for that to dry a bit before I come back and paint the background. Okay, so it looks almost dry. Can you see this part? There is no more paint, so I'm going to put some water. You can either use blue or green. I'm going to use green for the background. So just use the tip of your brush to color. Turn it around. So each time your brush is dry, dip in water, dip back in paint, and then come back. Make a fence. When you're painting, you don't want the paint to get into onto the flowers. Don't put too much paint also at the time because it can run to the and get into the petals and make it not look nice. So I think I would have preferred a darker green. We could have mixed blue with maybe the other green. I'm using another palette. This is Pran. That was Crayola. Maybe I'll use this green. Let's see how it is. This is too dark, but the other one is too light. It doesn't matter, I guess. Because I tried using the dark green, I'm just making it look uniform. That's all. I'm going to leave it this way. I'm not going to touch it anymore. So I hope you guys enjoyed making this close-up picture of a flower along with me. So till we meet next time. So before you put back, this has to dry. You are supposed to wash your brush before you put it back. And don't close this right now because it is wet. It is going to get moldy. Okay, so keep that in mind. And so till we meet next time. Bye-bye.